Hi, welcome back to the workshop for episode 45 of GGBO 2022. I think we're almost there, you know. Okay, so we are getting somewhere nearer with this build now, but there is still quite a lot of work to do, including wiring up and fitting all the electrics, getting the humbuckers fitted and sorted out, and then getting all of the hardware on, stringing it up, setting it up, and getting it to play nice. So it's not a 5-minute job, but hopefully we can get this thing finished off before too much longer. Now, the first thing I want to do is actually get these pickups fitted, because obviously I'm not using pickup rings on this build. So we're going to have to direct mount these pickups, which means first thing we need to do is drill out these threaded sections of the legs so that the screw will pass straight through them, and then we need to fasten them directly into the timber of the guitar. I've done some measuring up, and the screws I'm using are 2.5mm thick. So I'm just going to use a 2.5mm drill bit. I'm just going to drill those out. Now, of course, this means that using these pickups with pickup rings is going to be difficult in the future, but that's just the way things go sometimes. I'm just going to actually open those out to 3mm. And just make sure I get rid of any of those little shards of metal so they're not going to mark up the finish on the guitar. So next up, we just need to position these into the body. And then we just need to drop the little springs into place, reposition the pickup and get them all screwed into place. Okay, so that's the pickups fitted. A little bit fiddly. I had to eventually swap out these screws because they were way too long, and I've just used these little black screws instead, and that all works absolutely fine now. So with that done, next thing I need to do is take them all back out again, because I want to paint the inside of the cavities black just to kind of make them blend in a little bit more, because that white maple is clearly visible, and I think that'll also make the cavities look a little less imposing. So we'll get them out, and I'm going to actually use some crimson rear guard shielding paint to paint this. So I will be getting a little bit of shielding around the pickups at the same time. Okay, so while that's drying, we can think about getting the electronics sorted out. And it's a fairly standard setup, 1 volume, 1 tone, 3-way switch, 2 humbuckers going into it. So what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to go into a massive amount of detail, is I'm just going to wire these up as you normally would. And then I'm going to run a piece of this multi-core from the switch, which will hook up to the humbuckers, and then hopefully we should be good to go. Okay, so that's everything pretty much wired up. All the black ones are going to be my grounds. Obviously there's an additional one from the bridge that we'll need to pick up as well. Now this grey multi-core is going to come from the switch and out initially through the F-hole, and then I'll connect all of the pickup wires to that, as long as I remember that it's the white and the red one that I need. So that should all be good. So now we have the funnest bit of this build, and that is getting these controls into the guitar itself, which obviously are going to have to be fished in through the F-holes, etc. But I'm hoping it's not going to be too much of a mission. So we'll get the guitar back on the bench and we can start to get that sorted out. Now I normally use dental floss for this, haven't got any to hand, but I have got this really strong waxed thread which I use if I'm sewing leather. It should be easily strong enough for what we need. And just to kind of help protect this a little bit, just put a little bit of tape around the F-hole where I'm going to be feeding stuff in. Okay, so that's everything in. So it's now just a case of attaching all these pickup wires to the switch wire and getting the output jack soldered in. So hopefully we should be able to do this relatively quickly. So I'm going to start with the pickup wires, and there's literally just 3 wires to connect here. I need to connect this bridge pickup hot wire to the white wire coming from the switch, the hot wire from the neck pickup to the red wire from the switch, and then I just need to make sure that all the grounds are connected as well. And I'm just going to place this little bit of leather just to stop any hot solder from dripping onto the nice finish that we've got. Okay, so that's everything wired up. I'm not going to put all the wires in, poke them out of the way just yet, because I need to check that everything is working as it should before I do that. So I've got it plugged in and I've got my little test amp down on the floor, so we'll turn that on. And that is relatively quiet, which is always a good sign. So this should be the bridge pickup, which is great, but also that one shouldn't be working, which is also the case. Volume seems to work, as does the tone. Amazing, brilliant. So that's all worked first time, which isn't always the case, but it always makes me extremely happy when it does work out like that. So now I can kind of get all this tidied up, get these wires pushed away and out of sight, get the jack socket fitted into its plate and everything. But I'm going to carry on with this, get that done off camera. So I'll be back in a couple of days' time, so don't miss out on that final episode where we can finally get to hear this thing. Until then, like if you've liked, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.